In this video is addressed to my twin flame Shia. Hi Shia. And for everyone that's watching, I thank you for watching. This is going to be some crime against me and my twin flame Shia. And in this video, Shia, and anyone else that's watching, you cannot use this video against me or you'll be sued and sent to jail for trying to legally frame me. I am possessed, and I've said that to you, Shia, in almost a lot of the videos. How about this past couple months, I think I've been forgetting to say it. So I'm going to start with the notes, and I noticed a little bit of a change. I know I actually could feel that you have felt relieved today, and I have too. I am able to talk about that, about what happened. The story I told you earlier today. So I have some photographs to show you. I did quite a bit of research. Something that I can't really take complete responsibility for not doing things that I'm supposed to be doing. And my back is I sat at the desk, I sat on the table doing the research of how to kill a jinn, and my spine is not doing good, it feels very weak, so I'm going to try to get a pillow. That's better. So, hey, forgot to press record on this video. So, I recorded 2 minutes on this video, so whatever's cut off, anything cannot be used against me, or you'll be sued or sent to prison for legally framing me. So, Shia, based on what I have said, I know that you are feeling a lot of relief. I can feel it because you're inside me, Shia, and I can feel you got relief today from finding about that criminal that did that to me in 2018. That was the last attack in the last that was the last time that was continuing to happen. Then I went back to my mother's for a month or two, at least. Got claimed the insurance on the car, the issues with the car, the scratches and the dents, and then I went back to Mount Shasta, ended up traveling around down the coast to Monterey, different places, and then got my back pay from SSDI, which was, well, I'm not going to say everything on the internet. So I'm just boiled some hot water for some Ovaltine that I'm going to try. They are definitely going to try to attack me and you. I really am surprised it's not cooling off. It's October 2nd and it's 82 degrees in here. I should probably open the window. So, I just put boiling water in the Ovaltine, so I'm not going to drink it yet. I'm putting this peppermint, I'm just putting peppermint essential oil with water, and I'm spraying myself daily, a few times a day. It's a little bit of like you know that menthol pain reliever creams that you buy, and it's kind of like a little bit of a stinging sensation, more of like a cooling sensation, menthol. That's what it feels like, and I'll explain more about that in a little bit. So I'm going to talk to you about the notes. I'm going to show you a few photographs I took. I did several pages of notes about how to remove and kill a jinn from the body. And basically, the ablution is very important. You have to, basically, I take my socks off, put my feet in the bathtub, and you, 3 times, you wash under the water 3 times, your hands, your face, your nose, behind your ears. You kind of just sprinkle some water behind your ears, your head, up to your wrists, your feet, and then up to your ankles, and 3 times. It's not perfect. You don't have to be perfect about it. What prevented me from continuing to do it was not being perfect, was knowing that I was supposed to follow a specific prayer while I did it, and I completely lost it in a notebook, which prevented me from doing it again. So I'm just saying, Allah is the most gracious, most merciful, while I do it 3 times. That's like the only thing I can memorize. Allah is the most gracious, most merciful. Something happens with the water. I'm pretty sure the Quran is connected to water, because when I do the water, I feel like I'm going to gag and puke. The demons can't stand ablution. So, and also ritual blowing. You're supposed to blow air on your body. There's this one I found where you blow like above, to the right, to the left, behind, on your hands, and then you recite the prayer. So this is the ablution, and this is the air blowing. So I'm already getting irritable and uncomfortable, and they make me feel like I have to have a bowel movement every time I come to sit down here. She recited Ayatul Kursi like 1,000 times. I'm going to actually try that. If you do it like a few times, it's not going to work. But I do have had a brain injury, and I can't recite 10 hours a day. I'm going to take my shoes off. I'm getting kind of hot. So I'm going to help out the supporter told me a few more details about the story earlier. But I told, not the story, the criminal act that was happening to me. And in regards to when he's trying to throw me into the lake, throw me down the hill and then probably punch me out unconscious, throw me in the water. He asked me to say, oh, you can come here. I wasn't holding him and like laying my body, like hugging him. I was basically, my body was up and my face and body was facing upwards towards the sky. It was only for a few minutes. I was scared of him at the time, and that's part of why I didn't say no. And so at that time, I can't typically smoke marijuana around people. I get kind of psychotic symptoms. I get extreme paranoia. I get a lot of nervousness feelings, and there's pros and cons to marijuana. Basically, they were using AI weapons when I would smoke the marijuana to make me like really freak out and be extremely afraid and have like a morbid panic attack and jolting my body. But I was doing this shaking, and it was purposeful so that he would get angry and throw me off of him. So I was kind of just laying there, and I didn't like his energy. He smelled bad. I was uncomfortable, and I was just kind of, obviously I had to go along with it. And his left toe was amputated. I think it was his left toe, and the toe next to it was cut off. He was telling me a story about how he caught his toe in an animal trap in the woods, and that's how it had to get removed, which I think is a complete lie. So I was not, I didn't feel good, and so after he said that story, I kept shivering and shaking, like ridiculously, like ridiculously shaking. Like it wasn't like an internal shake and shudder of like nervous and cold feeling. It was like my whole body was shaking and like squirming around, and I just kept saying, "Oh, I can't stop squirming around. I can't stop squirming around." And then he said, "Get off of me," in like a very angry, kind of loud tone. And at that point, I felt the nudge. He said, "Get off of me," and he nudged me. So then the Lumerians took my body. I wouldn't say nudge, he pushed, but they held back the push, and I literally, my body just kind of went like this. And I just, that's what I like, just like went like this, and this hill was like this, and I was like, wow, I didn't feel at all out of balance, and I feel really bloated right now today. They can really bloat my body. That was a very serious attempt, because I was on like it was like the lake, and then like these woods with these trees and this hill. It was all like a dirt hill, and I wouldn't say we were having friendly conversations. It was kind of like civil acquaintance at times. I wouldn't really necessarily say friendly. There was a lot of, I would say, psychopathic talk when when you're on drugs, and you kind of just talk and say things that like are murderously annoying and boring. Like just there's no meaning behind it. And I'm not saying those words. This was the last attack that had occurred, and then I went back home, and then I had enough money where I didn't have to fly a homeless sign, which was very, very dangerous to do. So after the cops came, the cops suggested, one of the good cops that I had seen before, the same cop, he was with a group of cops, the same cop was, there was a whole nother incident that occurred, and the cop said, "Are people after you?" And so he was basically hinting he knew what was going on. People were trying to kill me. So this was set up by the Lumerians, and this was going to be a way to get all of these criminals in trouble. Because when I'm driving around and like bringing them to wherever they have to go, or whatever else, not whatever else, when they were sitting in my car for hours talking about nothing, and it was extremely boring, and I was having not just like gas torture, like I could die from it, the pain of the gas torture. I was like, the gas torture was so painful, I had to be completely still and not move a single movement when it was happening. So they're being used as demon portals to do that unbearable pain, which could have killed me. But after I got out of the hospital, after about a couple weeks, I didn't check my phone or had access to my phone when I was in the hospital institution. I checked my phone. This criminal left a voicemail trying to see if I'd call him back and hang out with him after that. I did not call him back. And he did say on the voicemail that he had left the keys in the car seat, but that was after my mom spent hundreds of dollars on new keys and towing the car from Mount Shasta to Reading at a Toyota shop. So he pushed me off when there was a dirt hill, and afterwards, it was almost like the Lumerians were kind of giving me a hint, like, this is what's going on. Like, because I'm like kind of observing it. There's a walk-in entity in my body, and I'm observing a lot of it, what's going on. That was part of the torture, that I had to observe it all. So, but that was one point where I was getting kind of like a hint, like that there was something going on where he was trying to kill me. There was lots of attempts. There was telepathic supporters trying to help me, I believe, and that's how they made my brain go conscious when I heard, I can do this. I can bury all of my things. So, you're very angry about that, and you're very angry that they've been lying to you. And luckily I was repeatedly told by telepathic supporters, you have to write this down and tell Shia, you have to write this down and tell Shia, and I had extreme resistance and not ability to write it down. Finally they used the good AI to control my body to write it down. But but I knew it was bothering you, and they repeatedly told me it was bothering you, and they knew it was bothering me because I was being extremely attacked by it, and they were using it against me, and like, I can't explain how they were using it, but I told you with the word smart, that was part of it. But they forced you to believe those lies. So, he's pounding on the wall. I'm gonna put this on video now.